So this video I'm going to discuss about diabetes and obesity, and both are reversible. This is from my own practical experience. I'm not a doctor, but I've gone through it personally. I did my own research and I found out that there is a way to reverse both obesity and diabetes, and I'm going to share with you my secrets very openly and very freely with all of you. So why did I first of all get on this journey? To take you back, my mother had diabetes. And I saw that every time I took her to a doctor, the only thing that happened was her medicines kept on increasing. One medicine, two medicines, and over the years, it was not solving the problem. The medicines were increasing, and each of the medicines had their own side effects. And for those side effects, then she again took more medicines. So it was not solving the problem, but it was increasing her medicines, and finally it landed up with injections, and finally complicated end. She died with diabetes complications at the end of her life. I saw the painful last year of her life with diabetes and the complications that it created. I also saw my nephew who died during the COVID times because of the complications of diabetes. So the comorbidity of diabetes and COVID caused his death, and he died at the age of 42. So both these things were there at the back of my mind, that yes, diabetes is, medicines don't solve the problem of diabetes. And with time, you just keep on increasing your medicines. And medicines have their side effects. And finally, you land up with complications. So I was very clear about it that when I was, first it was found out that I have diabetes, I decided to do my research, do my study, and I did come back with a very simple finding that this is a lifestyle disease. Lifestyle disease needs lifestyle modifications. It does not need medications. It doesn't need medicines. You need to change your lifestyle. Something is wrong with us when we go and start looking at changing, taking medicines and pills for a lifestyle problem. If they were solving the problem, it was great. They are not solving the problem. They are adding to the problem. They're creating complications. So why the hell to go that route? So I decided to follow the route of what I call as a holistic wellness approach, which includes the mind, which includes the body, and which includes the spirit. So what did I exactly do? Let's come back to the diet. Diet was almost 90% of the strategy. This is what I read from all the books. This is what I did all my research. This is what I heard from the best of experts. This is what I have learned in my journey with some of the people who have helped thousands to reverse their diabetes. So what is that very simple diet that I followed? And I'll share with you right now. That's a plant-based diet. So I went into a plant-based diet, which means I would eat everything to do with plants, which was vegetables and fruits. So this is what largely my diet looked like, a lot of fruits and vegetables. What did I stop? This is also important to know. What did I stop? We are doing some things absolutely wrong. Sugar, for example, sugar and processed sugar and sugar in all the processed foods, all that is wrong that we are intaking. So sugar of all forms obviously was completely stopped. Processed foods, absolutely your body is going to love you the moment you stop eating processed food. We are so habituated, we are so hooked on, because there are so many things which are added to the processed foods that we buy from the supermarkets, that we think they are healthy for us, but they're absolutely unhealthy for us. And if you read the labels properly, you will know that each one of them, the kind of ingredients that go inside, the kind of preservatives that go inside, the kind of stuff that goes inside that hooks us on to that kind of food. So processed food was completely out. The fried foods were also absolutely out. We love our fried foods. We love our street foods in India. There is in India we have got the samosa, the vada pav as it is called in the Bombay street language. Globally you have the burgers and the pizzas, and now I can also say that burgers and pizzas all over are springing up all across our cities, and everyone is having them. And so obviously all this, when you're having this fast food, all the fried foods, they're absolutely not right for your body. The moment you stop them, you'll start seeing that there are changes that start happening in your body. So stopped all these stuff. took out dairy from my diet completely. And why dairy? Because logically to me it doesn't make sense that somebody that I'm having a milk of a mammal. No other mammal has milk of any other mammal, and we are supposed to have our mother's milk till a particular age. So for me, logically, when I heard that argument, it made a lot of sense. And obviously nowadays that the factory farming that happens, the dairy farming that's happening out here, obviously a lot of hormones, a lot of antibiotics that come through it. I don't want any of that. So absolutely I just stopped my dairy, and I also got off meat. So all these things were absolutely out. I also, very importantly, cut down on my grains. Grains became just 20% of my diet. So this is, in short, what I have shared with you. These are the 5 or 6 things that if you start doing, and don't believe me, you have to just do it for a period of time. Do it for 20 days, 30 days, and start seeing the changes and the shifts that start happening in your body. The important thing to know is that there's also a psychological aspect to this complete journey that you're on. What happens is, especially if you're on a weight loss journey, what I've noticed is people start weighing themselves almost on a daily basis. I think that's not the kind of game that you're playing. You're not in a sprint, you are in a marathon. Lifestyle change is not something that you do for a few days, you do it for lifetime, right? So you do not be such kind of heavy pressure that every day you're getting on your weighing scale. And because what happens is, when they see that the weighing scale is not moving downwards, they lose their hope and they get back to their old way of life. Then what also happens is, one day you slip, you have eaten something which is out of syllabus from what you have actually planned. You go back and say, okay, this is not possible, I cannot do it, it looks absolutely impossible for me to do. So this is the important psychological aspect to get, is that this is a lifestyle. This is not a sprint. It's a marathon, as I call it. Keep this in mind. So with this changes that I did in my diet, the psychological thought processes that I brought in, I looked at systems. I created very simple systems. Every day in the morning I have a particular kind of food, afternoon a particular kind of food, evening a particular kind of food. It was absolutely day after day after day after day, absolutely boring, because you're actually repeating the same stuff. But you have created a system. Let me tell you, willpower is not going to help you on this journey. Willpower is not going to help you on this journey, but creating a system and a process is going to help you. So I have a very particular thing in the morning, then in the afternoon, always with my lunch and dinner, I have my raw salads. It's a given. Whatever happens, my raw salads is going to come to me, twice in a day through my, lunch and through my dinner. Then vegetables is going to be a part of my lunch and dinner. And in the morning, in my breakfast, I would have something to do with millets, or I would sometimes even skip that. I'll just have one fruit. I would just make a smoothie of my apple, mix it with some kind of protein and have it. So this is my absolutely a very basic kind of, I had created a system which I followed absolutely day after day. Then I started using tools to help me to keep me on track. For example, if you notice here, I have my CGM. The CGM was very important. It's really helped me, because what I eat, I start immediately sensing what is going on in my body. How is my blood glucose moving up or down? And this is important to understand. Then the other very important, some of the important other tools that I have used is Zero. I have used for intermittent fasting. So when I'm on intermittent fasting, to keep the track of the time, I use Zero, the app which is available on the mobile phone. And there are different other things which I use. But for my meditation, it's important also that you also have to work on your stress. So meditation I use Insight Timer. So I have used technology. I have used the fact that I have followed a process. And I know what is it that I'm going to have and what I'm not going to have. So these are the buckets. If I look at it, if you just follow these few buckets, that diet that you should be having, diet that you should not be having, your behavior thought processes, your psychological thought processes towards this lifestyle change, and take the help of tools like I did for CGM, because it very clearly tells me when my spikes happen. Other important thing that to note, remember, is it's not good to keep on snacking every now and then, because every time you're snacking, and especially if you have a CGM, you can clearly see your blood glucose is going up. So you know it that your blood glucose keeps on spiking every time you're eating. So to keep a kind of, to keep that kind of under range, and because if you go deeper and study this is a problem of insulin resistance. That is what you're trying to deal with. And if you're looking at that, you're trying to, reduce these spikes that are happening. And if you're consistently having spikes through a day, so no snacking all the time, have only two major meals. And sometimes in the night, I make it a minor meal because I only have a soup and a salad. So this is the way. And obviously I also follow the intermittent fasting, on certain days. So I have that pattern fixed in. So what I've shared with you is something that you can do. I did this last 16 kgs in about 5 months, 4 to 5 months. I reversed my own diabetes myself. This is possible for each one of us to do. We all can do this. This is the message that I want to share with all of you. This is absolutely free. You don't have to spend thousands of rupees. You don't have to spend in dollars. You don't have to rush and take your pills. Obviously, if you're a diabetic, keep track of your blood sugar, because if you're on medicines and if you're diabetic, and your blood sugar will start falling when you change your diet, and you will need to adjust your dosage. So keep track and keep your doctor in the loop. But you're going to find very interestingly, as your body day after day after day you start doing this stuff, your body, the shape will start changing. And at some time you'll find a huge change that start occurring with you, not just in the the blood markers. You will start feeling good about yourself. This is what I want to share with you. Good health is possible. Obesity is reversible. Type 2 diabetes is reversible. Type 2 diabetes, I want to bring in that that point out here, that it is about type 2 diabetes that I'm talking about. Type 2 diabetes is reversible. I also know, and I've heard from others who have followed this, that it is manageable for type 1 diabetes when they follow this kind of a lifestyle. So this is what I want to leave you with, that it is possible. You have to take charge of your health. Nobody else is bothered about your health. Nobody up from outside. You cannot outsource your health. And aging gracefully is a choice that each one of us have. And having a healthy life is a choice that each one of us has. So just follow these basics, absolutely basics, as I've shared with you. Your diet, just follow it every day. Your mind practices, your meditation, your practices of the psychological thinking, that this is not a sprint, this is a marathon that you are not on. And as I said, use the technology and tools to support you in this journey, and you will definitely get success. Thank you.